I say Carlo is the best, and I have worked with the best. To compare them, let me take you through them one by one. Mourinho's the disciplinarian. Everything with him is a mind game. He likes to manipulate. Such tricks were new for me. All the time doing one thing to get another thing. All the time triggering me. I like these games. And it worked for me. I became top scorer under him and we won the league. As long as it works and as long as we win, it's all good with me. The way Mourinho prepared for games was also new to me. I would get pumped up believing the stories he would feed us. I went through a lot of adrenaline when I played for him. It was like nothing was ever good enough. He gave and he took. Jose Mourinho knows how to treat a footballer, but Carlo knows how to treat a person. After Mourinho, I went to Pep Guardiola, the big brain in football. He had all these solutions for every team we played against, knowing exactly what we needed to do to win, exactly how he wanted it achieved. We could be winning 2-0 at half time, but he would say, "We're not finished here, we continue." I won 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He was like a machine. As a person, however, he was something else. I told you I don't judge a person if I don't know them, and I based these opinions on what I went through with him. As a coach, he's fantastic, but as a person, we didn't see eye to eye on many things. I wrote about our problems in my book. It was like a school, and we were the players were the schoolboys. This type of environment does not suit me. Even after Guardiola, when they lost so badly to Bayern Munich 7-0 in the Champions League, nothing changed. Because they had had success for 10 years before that game, they treated it as a one-off. They are so strong and confident that they believe in themselves and just follow the system all the time. This works for them, but not so good for me. Barca have always had a world-class team, but under Guardiola, the system stayed the same. Outside of the system and outside of his huge footballing brain, I cannot agree that Guardiola is the same quality as Carlo. So later, after I had this experience with Guardiola, I met Carlo. I get a complete person and a coach. Often with a coach, the game is all we have in common, but with Carlo, when I have a problem at home, I could talk to him. When I need advice, I could talk to him. Whatever it was, I knew I could lean on him. But it wasn't only me. It was the same for the whole group. He is who he is with everybody. I remember the game against Porto in the Champions League because there was a lot of pressure. It was win or lose his job. I felt for him because he had been winning everything, and then because we had just lost, suddenly it was chaos. Quietly, he said that the competition was not finished. You do not win the trophies now, Carlo said. You win them in the end of the season. But there was still chaos everywhere because a small club doesn't know how to handle setbacks when they arrive. A big club knows that bad times are inevitable and that they know how to handle them because they've been through it. However, no matter how much chaos there was, Carlo handled it. He knew what he needed to do because of his experience. The chaos was never allowed to reach them. It was allowed to reach the team. The training ground was small, so we could hear the noise that would go on at the club. But Carlo would never agree with the owners if they criticized the players. He would always protect us. He would say that the players had done everything he had asked for. He protected the team in many ways. If someone was late to training because they had been out the night before, he would call them into his office and ask what had happened. He would listen and then say, "Don't do it again. This is between me and you, but don't repeat this mistake. Be professional." He had a sense of humor with it too, when it was appropriate, and he might add, "Next time you invite me along." These are words by Zlatan Ibrahimovic on Carlo Ancelotti, who he considers the best coach he's ever met. Hello and welcome everybody. So as you could probably tell, I am making a video on Carlo Ancelotti quiet leadership. Now I'm doing this really not just because today officially Carlo Ancelotti starts his first day as manager of Bayern Munich, but I'm also doing that just because I got a question, I believe it was 3 days ago or 2 days ago, by a user who basically asked me, because he knew that I had this book, and he asked me, how would I recommend it, would I not recommend it? And the short answer is, it's difficult. The short answer is there is no short answer, because it's quite difficult to recommend this book, and it's quite difficult not to recommend this book. So let me actually go into why this is easy to recommend and why it's difficult to recommend. So why it's easy to recommend. It's a great book. It's written great. There's multiple editors, there's multiple people, there's multiple inputs. You have Carlo Ancelotti giving his take. You have his 2 assistants giving his take. You have footballers such as Zlatan Ibrahimovic, such as Cristiano Ronaldo, such as Alex Ferguson, such as John Terry. You have a lot of players give their intake on Carlo Ancelotti as a man and as a coach. Then you have his experience from all the various clubs that he's been at. So his AC Milan, for example, Juventus, Chelsea, PSG, Real Madrid, all the inputs, going through what worked, what didn't work, what he expected to happen, what he didn't expect it to happen, why it ultimately failed. He's been pretty honest in this book, and from that kind of standpoint, it's quite easy to recommend, and it's a great book just from Carlo Ancelotti himself. You could kind of take it as an autobiography, although I would say it's part autobiography and part, yeah, I guess best way to put it is part autobiography and a part football book, just part football centric book. But that's the problem, and that's why I can't recommend this book straight away. It's only part football book. So if you compare it to something like, for example, that's Reboot, obviously, how German football reinvented itself and conquered the world. If you compare it to something like that, or something like Pep Confidential, which these two books, you can, you when you read them, you instantly know, okay, this is going to be technical, this is going to be about football, this is going to be about football, this is going to be about football. That's all there is to it, You expect that you read those books, you read the first page and you're like, okay, this is going to be 100% football. You go in, you read, you can pick any page and it'll be football. So let me just pick any page. Ribéry returned to the first team for the August game. Football. The same would go for that book. So with this book, however, you can't really do that. With this book, you could say it's 50% football and 50% leadership skills. Now, what do I mean by leadership skills? Now, if you look at the title, it says Quiet Leadership, Winning Hearts, Minds, and Matches. It doesn't say just winning matches. It says hearts, minds, and the main title is Quiet Leadership. Now, that's basically what the book is really about. It's about leadership. Now, as I mentioned, he goes through what worked at clubs that he was at, what didn't work, what stopped him progressing, what stopped him, not progressing, all that kind of thing. But this book is really about leadership. It's really about leadership, how he has a leadership on the players, how the bigger players have a leadership on the smaller players, how the people in charge of a club have a leadership role on Carlo Ancelotti, how he has ultimately it goes through culture as well. How when you go to a new club, you have to force the players essentially to integrate into the culture. So you don't want there to be any cliques. So basically, you don't want, for example, at Bayern, which is the case, all the Spanish speaking players, I should say, and including Douglas Costa here as well and Rafinha as well. You don't want them all on one side. You want them all to be mixed up, because if they appreciate the culture essentially, then there will be a more valuable asset than just a football player, but it'll also be a valuable asset to the team in general and to the city in general as well. And he goes through all that. Basically, you could say it's a 50% business book, or 50% integration book, and 50% football book. So that's why I can't recommend it. It's not 100% football. It's, in the best way to put it, it's a football book that isn't a football book. It's the best way to put it. It's a business book that is centered around football. Now, it's not only centered around football. In this book, Carlo Ancelotti also makes a lot of comparison to businesses. I love this book. Yeah, I really love this book. Just because it's not just your typical football book. It's not just, okay, I'm going to read this, I'm going to learn about how Carlo Ancelotti did this and that, and what formation he likes to use. No, you're not going to find that out. You might find it out, right? But that's not going to be the main focus. The main focus in this book is how he became a leader, why he believes in his quiet leadership instead of like a loud, angry persona. He likes to be quiet. He likes to talk to the players. He likes to understand the players. He likes to, have a joke with the players. He doesn't just want to be a coach. He also wants to be a friend. All these kind of things. And then you have, like I said, the players, other players, star players, key players, and managers give their take on Carlo Ancelotti. Now, I'm currently on my second read through, and the fact that I'm reading it through for the second time, I've literally started the book straight. For a second time straight after I finished it the first time, which will just tell you how much I really enjoy this book. Now, for a pure football fan, I could still recommend this book because ultimately it's largely focused on football, although it often branches off into like other sectors. But I just want you to be sure that you know what you get into. So I'm not going to give it a score because I like, for example, I like this book more than Pep Confidential, although that one is more football centric, whereas this one is not as football centric. But that's Reboot. I haven't really finished it yet. I'm currently on what page am I? 1 second. I'm currently on 210. So that's not that far. It's free. I'm pretty much 3/4. 3/4. I'm pretty much through 3/4, but obviously I haven't finished it yet, so I can't say my take on that book just yet. But with this book, the case is that I can recommend it to you, but I just want you to know what you're getting into. You know, that's all I'm saying. I want you to know what you're getting into. Perhaps read a few pages, you know, read 3-4 pages, and then you get a good idea of what this book is. Go to a library, go to a bookstore, and read a few pages. If you want to buy this book on Amazon, I'll have a link in the description down below. But ultimately, I want you to know what you're getting into, essentially. That's all there is to it. But that was Carlo Ancelotti, Quiet Leadership, and he's officially starting today. He'll give his press conference on the 11th, I believe. Yeah, it is the 11th, I believe, and his 16th is his first game. So it's here. It's here. The new era under Ancelotti is officially starting today, and that's brilliant. Honestly, that's brilliant. And the way the new players have been playing, I'm talking about Hummels and I'm talking about Renato Sanchez especially. Fantastic. Oh, that's all I can say. Fantastic. And tomorrow we'll beat Italy. Tomorrow we will beat Italy. I'm telling you that right now. We will beat Italy. I'm putting my prediction right there. I know I was going to make a video for this whole round. I actually knew that Portugal was going to win just because, you know, that's the way they've been playing so far. And I've said that before. You just have those kind of quality players. They haven't really shined so far. But it's just the way Portugal are doing it this time. It's basically like Greece in 2004, I believe it was. So that's how I see Portugal doing it this year. But I'm predicting for today. I might as well just put my predictions out there quickly right now. For today, Belgium is gonna win. For tomorrow, we're gonna beat Italy. We're gonna beat them 3-1. I am predicting it right now. 3-1. Yep. After that, I don't actually know who plays. I believe it is. After that, who plays? I think that's about it, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's about it. Belgium. I'm actually checking it right now. But Wales, Belgium. So I've liked it. I think Belgium will win today. I'm putting a 2-1 win for them. Germany will beat Italy. We'll beat them 3-1. And France versus Iceland. Yeah, France have got that. France have absolutely got that. They're gonna win 3-0. But that's what I think, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I see it happening. That's how I see this going. And that's all there is for me, ladies and gentlemen, for today. I will see you guys probably either Sunday or Monday when I will do my take on all the teams that I've played this round, the quarterfinals of the Euro so far, and who will win. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, peace out and have a nice day. I just want you to know what you guys get into with this book. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.